Hey everyone, Matron here bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary. This time we have a game between seleCT as the red Terran and NonY spawning as the blue Protoss. This will be Game 5 of these two players' best of 7 series in MLG DC. We just had seleCT even up the series at 2-2 with a great game on Lost Temple. So now NonY has chosen Metalopolis as the next map. The first map choice for each series will be determined based on the round. So Lost Temple was the predetermined first choice, and then the loser of that first game gets to pick the next map, and then the loser of this game will get to pick the map for Game 6. So again, this is Game 5, series tied 2-2. NonY was up 2-1. seleCT was able to win that last game. Some great Marine Marauder pressure, some late medevacs, and Vikings to control the Colossi of NonY. We see cross positions here on Metalopolis, just like we did last time on Lost Temple, so expect both players to try to get out the expansions pretty early. seleCT was able to take that expansion in the last game a lot faster than Liquid Tyler was, and you could just tell he had the income advantage the entire game, was able to get out more units, and in every single battle, even though both players lost a majority of their army, seleCT was just able to rebuild a lot faster than Liquid Tyler. So we'll see whether Liquid Tyler is able to catch up and keep ahead in the economy on this game. Once players do the scouting here, we'll see how the build orders work out. Drops are a great option here for Terran, as the bases are susceptible in multiple locations to drops, left and top for NonY here, and as well as the bottom. The natural is pretty easy to defend. It's close with this ramp, but air pressure is going to be very effective for any sort of Terran drops. Both players sending their scouts out. As we do see the cybernetic score go up a little bit faster, NonY is not opting for that first zealot like he did in the last game. He used that first zealot to try to apply a little bit of pressure, but the early Reaper from seleCT was able to fend it off and kill it before it was able to take down any of the workers for seleCT. seleCT again pushes out that first Marine just in time to ward off that probe, so no scouting is going to be able to be done by NonY. He's not going to see these two barracks go up. A tech lab going up, we'll see concussive shell started just as soon as he gets 50 minerals. He did right there, and then the first Marauder as well. So we see seleCT was able to scout there. Not sure why he didn't move up into the base a little bit. You might have seen this Stalker coming out. Now the Stalker is going to try to take down that SCV if it's anywhere close. seleCT backing up to a safe distance. We'll see if that Stalker is able to pick it off. Looks like the SCV is going to be able to slip by that Stalker, perhaps up into the base. As we have NonY here taking the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Here comes the SCV, going to be able to do scouting here. Going to see that cybernetic score working on that warp gate tech. And out comes another Stalker, going to take down that scouting SCV. We see a fast reactor from seleCT this time. He had not thrown up that reactor as quickly in the last game. So this cross positioning, he may feel like he can take a little bit longer to get into his build order here. And we'll see if he does throw up another early command center. Two Stalkers out for NonY here, and a pylon in the back by that smoke. So he's going to be able to see any sort of drops. We'll probably see pylons all around the outside of his base here. A few Marauders and a Marine moving out with these concussive shells, very good against Zealots, and the Marauders are naturally great against these Stalkers, doing 20 damage to armored. Checking each watchtower, making sure that probe is not there. NonY's sending his probe in for another scout. Looks like he's going to check for any sort of cheese play in all the corners, something you'll see pro players do a lot with these scouts. As we have Tyler sending his Stalker spread all over the base, making sure that that Reaper cannot hop up there and get the scout like it did the last few games. Two more gateways being thrown down. We'll also have a robotics facility, so opening up into a 3 gateway, 1 robotics facility, just like he did in the last game. So we see another tech lab going down for seleCT. He's just working on this MM ball. He has not yet thrown down the orbital command or the second command center. If we look at the income tab, even for both players, though that's just the mule talking there for the Terran, as he's down 6 workers. NonY's at 28 workers to 21. So seleCT may be cutting workers here as he does push out those Marines out of that reactor 2 at a time. Looks like he side-capped himself a little bit here. Does have a supply depot about to finish. and he is going to move out here. He's going to scout with this SCV before he pushes. May check this watchtower once again, as we see a lot of scattered units for NonY here. Again, stalkers all around the base, and now a few sentries as well. He's going to be able to block off this ramp or chop the army in half if he chooses to. He's going to try to get down this nexus early, so it's going to be earlier than seleCT's expansion. As we see seleCT just working on stim now. Stim just finished, so this is a great time to push in. If we look at the army tab, 1250 to 875. And Liquid Tyler did spend all these minerals on this nexus, so he's going to be a little bit light on the army. As we see these stim going in, Marines and Marauders doing a nice split here. Great force field by NonY, trying to ward these guys off. Stim did wear off, and another stim coming in, so 2 stims now. These stalkers in the back are not able to fire. Zealot going to try to push these units back, as the observer is going to be flying overhead, and multiple observers now for NonY. So he's going to be able to see everything seleCT's doing. There's again multiple stims on these units without any sort of medevac support. They're just going to get weaker and weaker. You have to really go all in at some point. A bunker was canceled there by seleCT in that SCV. I'm going to try to pick off that SCV, perhaps not, as a number of stalkers were warped in there. If we look at the production tab, seleCT does not have up this second command center yet, so a little bit late. He's going for some sort of one base all in with these 3 barracks. So if NonY is able to survive this early pressure from seleCT, get the second base up, he may be able to take this game. As we see these observers providing great information, another stim possibly coming in. Here's the stim. All these stalkers are going to get into a good concave here and try to take down these Marauders, single targeting them down. Looks like we have Marines and Marauders coming from both angles here from seleCT. Another stim and turning around, taking down multiple stalkers here, but the stalkers are focusing down these Marauders. We got reinforcements here from seleCT trying to take down the number of stalkers that Liquid Tyler does have, but it looks like NonY is going to be able to push back, and now these stalkers should be able to catch this Marauder. Once its stim wears off, he's going to let it go, as a number of reinforcing units coming from seleCT along the northward path. Again, these observers are going to see everything that's going to happen. Liquid Tyler does have map control, at least around his base. If he pushes these observers out a little bit more onto these 2 paths, he's going to be able to see a lot earlier. And he is getting this base up, so 35 workers to 26. Finally, the command center is going down for seleCT, so much later than NonY's. He's going to be able to get it saturated much faster, and possibly take the economic advantage into this game. We do have an observer over seleCT's base. If we look at the unit count, we have 2 observers out. They're doing work for NonY, providing him all the information he needs. He knows he's ahead. He knows he just needs to macro up here, possibly take a 3rd base even, and then he can push out and crush seleCT. seleCT being a little anti-establishment there, taking down the statue. See if he goes for this one next. Statue can get in the way a little bit there. Maybe you can't see your units along that road, or maybe taking out a little bit of aggression there, as his early attack did not work. He's trying for that 1 base, 3 barracks pressure, but NonY was able to repel it. Now has a sizable army, Zealots out in the front, Stalkers in the back with an Immortal, 2 Immortals now, and then a few sentries here, going to be able to force field the units of seleCT and split them. seleCT warping in another orbital command. If we look at the income, 43 to 30, the seleCT is going to have those mules. Great scan there, taking down that observer. Now just the 1 observer left. NonY is going to send it in and see what sort of tech seleCT may be going for. Just going to see these 3 barracks and the factory. Possibly nothing off the factory. May just be for the starport. We'll see if he starts one right here. He does. See if the factory begins an add-on for the starport. If he gets enough minerals, there it is. It's going to be a reactor. So we'll see some more medevacs, at least at the start, as NonY has not shown any colossi yet. NonY just working off these 3 gateways and this robotics, keeping them working, as we now have our first colossi with the extended thermal lance upgrade.